Testing? Okay. It wasn't on? So what was the last thing you heard me say? Okay, so like we have all right, we had a little bit technical difficulties. Technical difficulties working kind. All right, perfect. So the last thing I said was what? That Abraham did not want Isaac to marry a heathen, essentially. He did not want his servant to find a woman of another nation. But he said this. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But thou shalt go into my country.
Into my country, back to his homeland, right? Ur of the Chaldees, go ahead.
And to my kindred.
And to my family, right? And my people, right?
And take a wife unto my son Isaac.
And take a wife until my son Isaac. Okay? Read on.
Verse 5. And the servant said unto him, peradventure, the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I needs bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest?
So the servant began to ask him and said, okay, what if the woman I picked, she doesn't want to come? What do I say then? Do I bring him back into the land where you came from? Do I bring him back? What does he say? Go ahead.
And Abraham said unto him, beware that thou bring not my son thither again.
Right. He said, don't bring Isaac back over there. Don't bring him back to the land of the Chaldees. Okay. But why? Go ahead.
Verse 7. The Most High, the power of heaven, which took me from my father's house, and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, and that sware unto me, saying, to thy seed will I give this land.
Will I give this land? He said, the reason why I don't want you to bring Isaac back there is because the Lord established my covenant here in this land. Right? Go ahead.
He shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence.
Right, go ahead.
And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be clear from this, my oath.
Right.
Only bring not my son thither again.
Right, so he said, look, the reason why I don't want you to bring Isaac back to the land of the Chaldees is because the Lord established the covenant here in this land, the land of Canaan, where I'm living. If you go back over there, then he's probably going to stay there, right? And we'll never get the promise. We won't get the land that the Lord inherited for us, right? So if the woman that doesn't want to come, then you're free from this oath, right? So I just wanted to show y'all that to lay that groundwork for how how Rebecca was chosen for Isaac. Like I said, if you read the rest of the chapter on your own time, you'll see how it actually all materialized, how the servant went to go feed his camels. Rebecca shows up, she feeds them, brings them back to her father's house, and they have the negotiations. And Rebecca ultimately consented to marrying Isaac, right? So I want you to jump to chapter 24, verse 67. Okay.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebecca. Right. And she became his wife.
Right, she became his wife. He took her to his tent, his mother's tent, and he laid with her. He consummated the marriage with her. Okay, go ahead.
And he loved her.
He fell in love with her. Right, go ahead.
And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Okay, so after his mother's death. So of course, when a man's mother dies, of course it's a sad time in his life, right? Unfortunately, Rebecca did not get to meet Sarah, right? Clearly, she did not get to meet Sarah. So the fact that he now has someone to comfort him in his mother's death, he has a wife now. It was a blessing to him. All right. So now we're gonna jump ahead to chapter 25, verse 19. Okay. Chapter 25, verse 19.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac.
Right. These are the generations of Isaac. So from this point forward, like we read about in Genesis chapter, I think it was 10 or Genesis chapter 5. From this point forward, the Bible deals with this specific family. Okay. We read about different families before, but now from this point forward, where it says these are the generations of Isaac, we're now dealing with Isaac and his descendants. Okay. Go ahead.
And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son.
Abraham's son, go ahead.
Abraham begot Isaac.
Begat Isaac, right? Go ahead.
And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife.
Right, so he was 40 when he took Rebekah to wife,
The daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, Padam Aram.
Padam Aram, go ahead.
The sister to Laban, the Syrian.
Go ahead.
Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
So now Rebekah had the same issue that Sarah had. They were both barren, right? So Isaac entreated for her, his wife, right? Go ahead. You got a question? Yes, Rebekah was probably around the same age. Okay, she was young also. She wasn't as old as Sarah when they got married, right? But it is also, yet she was still barren. For whatever reason, the Lord shut up her womb. So also, see how, brothers, when you entreat the Most High for your wife, he'll sometimes listen to you. If you're going before the Most High humbly and gracefully, you'll see how you can entreat, you can step in behalf for your wife, okay, because you are her covering. Okay, so if you pray for your wife and the Lord hears you, he can bless her. He can turn around whatever situation that she's going through, right? Because after this, we're going to see that she actually conceived, right? So read from the top.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
Because she was barren, right?
And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Right, so obviously the Most High heard Isaac's prayer, right? The prayers of the righteous travaileth much, right? Go ahead.
Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
Why am I thus? She said, so the pregnancy was rough, okay? And she didn't understand why. The pregnancy was, she was going through all these birth pains, probably a lot of, what's the word? Like morning sickness, whatever issue that a woman can have during pregnancy, she was probably going through it all. Okay, she probably couldn't sleep right. She probably couldn't eat right. Everything that she was eating was probably coming right back up. All these abdominal pains, everything was going wrong. And she was wondering, okay, if this was a blessing, why am I struggling like this, right? Why is this pregnancy rough for me? Go ahead.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Right, so she's going before the Most High and asking, okay, why is this happening to me? What's going on here? Right, go ahead.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Go ahead.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Right, go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger.
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit, right? It said, 2 nations are in thy womb, right? And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, right? So the 2 nations, so clearly there's 2 people in her womb, right? Which means she's having, right, she's having twins, right? She's having twin boys. Of course, she didn't know that at the time. Now, if you've ever seen a woman pregnant with twins, you know that her womb is actually a lot larger than normal. If she was having just one child, even if she was having multiple children, triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets, all of that, all the above, you notice that her womb is actually a little larger. So there's a lot of strain on her body, right? So it said 2 nations are in that womb, which means obviously she's having 2 boys, right? Because we know that the patriarchs are of the men, right? And the countries and lineages are determined after men. So she's having 2 nations in her womb and 2 manner of people, meaning what? What kind of twins are these? We have identical and we have fraternal, right? We have fraternal twins. If you ever met fraternal twins, that means that they are 2. Oh, okay, so the difference between an identical twin and fraternal twins, do you brothers and sisters know? No, so okay, so yes, but why?
I'm bigger than my sister. She's little. I have big face and she little face and all that.
But why? Why is that? What's happening with her? Well, what I mean, like, what's happening with her womb? Like, that's what occurs. That it causes 2 different people. The main difference between. Okay, I'll just explain. So, identical twins, right? When a woman's egg, when her ovaries release an egg, right? When the egg is fertilized, it'll split into 2, right? That's what causes identical twins. It's the same egg, just split into two. Fraternal twins, two eggs are released at the same time. Two different eggs. Okay? And that's why they're different. That's why they come out looking different. Okay?
Fraternal twins are of the same parent.
Exactly.
They don't look alike.
Right, exactly.
Twins do look alike.
Well, that's why they're identical and they're fraternal. Okay? Fraternal twins, they look different. They look a little different. But they come from the same womb at the same time. Two different eggs were fertilized at the same time. That's what usually happens. Why? Is sometimes it's by chance, or no, not by chance, by the Most High's word. Right? What's up, Cora?
Speaking about fraternal twins, though, when they come from the same womb, it could be like a boy and a girl.
Exactly.
Or it could be like two girls.
Exactly. It'd be two girls, a boy and a girl, or two boys. Right? That's why it depends on which sperm fertilizes the egg. Right? That's what happens. So if a sperm carrying an X chromosome fertilizes this egg, it'll become a girl. If it's fertilizing if it's carrying a Y chromosome and it fertilizes that egg, it'll be a boy, right? But they're fertilized at the same time. Two different eggs are fertilized at the same time. Okay, and that's what's happening here. That's what we're reading about when it says 2 nations are in thy womb and 2 manner of people. Okay, 2 totally different kinds of. They come from the same seed and they come from the same womb, but they're 2 totally different kinds of people. Okay, and we're gonna realize who this other people are, like who they are in the earth today. All right. So read that scripture again.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Right, so I want y'all to realize 2 manner of people, 2 totally different kinds of people. All right, go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Right, so it says the one people shall be stronger than the other people. What does that mean? Go ahead, Zach.
One will rule over the other one?
Yes, also what else? What does it mean, like in terms of their status towards each other? Same thing, but you're on the right track.
Say the question again.
So when it says the one people shall be stronger than the other people, right? How are these people going to interact with each other? Will they always be equal? Will there always be what?
They won't always be equal,
Right?
Because they're not going to see everything on the same, basically not going to be on the same page.
Right. Come on. So basically, they're never going to be equal. There's always going to be someone who's in power, and then someone's always going to be at the bottom. Someone's always going to be on top. Someone's always going to be at the bottom. And you look at Jacob's relationship with Esau. We're never equal to each other. There's always one of us is always in power, or the other one's in captivity or slavery or in a bad condition.
Right. No, I was just saying this is a future prophecy.
Exactly.
It shows Esau's rulership over us.
And our rulership over him too.
Yeah.
We've always been at odds with each other. We've never seen eye to eye with them. Never. Ever. Right? There's no point in history where the so-called black man and the so-called white man were co-regent with each other. They've never been on equal playing ground with each other. We've always been stronger, or they've been stronger than us. We've either had them in derision or they've had us in derision, right? Now, right now, they got us in derision bad. But there was a time where we had them in derision too, right? We've had our foot on their necks, right? And even when you look at the characteristics, right? Who's usually stronger? Who's physically stronger? Who's spiritually stronger? Emotionally stronger? Mentally stronger? Right? Or look at politically or militarily, economically, who's stronger? Who's been stronger? Who's been weaker? It's never been an equal playing field between us. So that's what it's showing you. The scripture is showing you that, right? So read that again.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Right.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder shall serve the younger. So the boy that comes out first is going to be subservient to the boy that comes out second. Salakia. Right? So that's a future prophecy, because obviously it's not happening right now. And obviously it didn't happen at the time that the prophecy was made. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Right, like we spoke about earlier, there were twins in her womb. Obviously, they were fraternal twins, and you're gonna explain physically how they were fraternal twins. Right, go ahead.
25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment.
Right.
And they called his name Esau.
Just gonna stop. All right. So it says the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. So when it says he came out red, what does that mean?
Pink skin.
Pale. Think about it. Like a red badger. So did he come out looking like? Let's see. Do I have anything red?
Might also say a form of leprosy.
Like. I don't have anything red. Did he come out like literally looking like the color red? No. So what does it mean?
Like, I know it has to do with the pigmentation in the skin.
Right.
So it's not gonna, I should say, distinguishing, the color of his skin, pigmentation of his skin, be totally different from Jacob's.
So basically, like, since he doesn't have any pigmentation in his skin, his blood is showing forth through his skin. That's basically what it means. Okay, he's not literally red like your blood. Like when you cut yourself open, you see blood coming out.
Donald Trump.
Right. He looks like that. Kind of look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a pink face. Okay. Or you see like those. Take your phone back. Or like you see like newborn rats, newborn hamsters, whatever. They come out looking like that. He came out looking like that, and he was hairy. He was really hairy. So they call his name Esau. Y'all know what Esau means? Anybody know what it was? Exactly. That's what Esau means. You can write that down. Wasted away, or he's a waste. Ishashwa, right? I think that's how you say it in Hebrew. Ishashah. He's wasted. This boy is a waste. They looked at him and said, oh, this baby's a waste. This baby's wasted. He has no pigmentation. He's hairy. Where did this boy come from? You know what I mean? Okay. So what happened, Ben? All right, go ahead. Read on. Read the verse again. 25.
And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment.
Right,
And they call his name Esau.
Call his name Esau, right? Go ahead.
Verse 26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob.
His name was called Jacob, right?
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Right, so they were married for 20 years before Jacob and Esau were born, right? Because remember it says Isaac was 40, right? When he took Rebekah to be his wife. And now that these two boys are born, they were married for 20 years before they even had children, right? So let's go back and peel this off a little more. It said, after that, his brother came out, right? Now, notice that it doesn't describe his brother's skin color or his physical condition or any of the above. So what does that show you? They described Esau's physical attributes, but they didn't describe Jacob's. What does that mean, Captain? Right. He came out looking normal. He came out brown skin, dark skin, whatever, right? They didn't look at him and say this baby's wasted, but this baby actually did something, okay? So it says that he took a hold on Esau's heel, right? What does that mean? What does that show you? Right? What? Continue. Like, give me some more. Like, what does it mean about power? They were fighting in the womb, right? But why did he grab his heel? What does it signify? Kind of, sort of. Go ahead, Uncle Mike. Exactly. So where would we go to find that? So repeat yourself, Uncle Mike. Repeat yourself. What did you say? Yeah, repeat yourself.
The future prophecy are going to take place in these last days.
Right.
Wherever you're going to take this man down.
Right. So the purpose. Now notice that the Bible actually shows you what he did. I noticed that it made note that Jacob grabbed his heel. Have you ever seen a baby grab another baby's heel coming out the womb? No. You've never heard that before, right? So there's a significance behind. There's a reason why the Bible said it. Okay, that he purposely grabbed his heel. Okay, now where would we go to show what the significance behind him grabbing his heel? What's that?
Second Ezra 6 and 9.
There you go. Let's get it. Second Ezra 6 and 9. And we're actually going to go over the red part too in a couple minutes, okay? After we read this. Start at verse 7.
Reading out the book of Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Right, so the Ezra's asked the angel Uriel, he said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? Meaning, when is the end of the world? Same thing that the disciples asked Yahushua. What's the end of the world going to be? Go ahead.
Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
See, the same thing. He's asking, what's going to be the end of this world and the beginning of it that followeth, right? Go ahead.
And he said unto me, from Abram unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
Right, he said from Abraham unto Isaac. So he's going all the way back to Genesis. And he said, Jacob and Esau were born of him. What happened? Go ahead.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So when Jacob came out the womb, he grabbed Esau's heel, right? Continuing that fight from the womb, right? Go ahead.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
So Esau is the end of the world,
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So Esau will be the last ruling Gentile kingdom, and Jacob will be the beginning of the world to come. Okay, they will be the end of the world. We'll be the start of the following age, the age of peace that we read about earlier today, where we spoke about how when we get back into the land, the earth is going to be at peace, it's going to be at rest, it's going to be good times in Israel. Okay, because we're going to rule the world with a righteous hand. We're not going to be ruling with wickedness. We're not going to be ruling with folly and evil and all this other nonsense. We're going to be ruling righteously. Read verse 10.
Says to,
yeah, go ahead.
Yaraph, I got to stress the point too that this end of the world represents America, because America think that they're separate from their other European brethren. They think they're totally different, and they're totally not going to receive the judgment that Europe is going to get from there. They think that they're unpunishable.
Right.
So that end of the Gentile world specifically means this American empire, along with the rest of the European empire.
Oh, praises. Absolutely. Yeah. So that Esau, all of Esau will end. Esau will come to an end. Wherever he's ruling, he will come to an end. All right. So read verse 10.
Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
What does that mean right there? Because the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. What does that mean? Anybody have an idea? Mike Ali, you have an idea what that means? No? I know. What you think that means? It says the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Right? In verse 10.
That means that the transition, right? Of Esau's kingdom and the Most High,
I like that. I was looking for a little something different, but I kind of like that thought. What you think, Katarza?
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. What does that mean?
We could look up that word, betwixt.
Betwixt means between.
Between.
So it's basically saying the hand of man is between Esau's heel and Jacob's hand. Huh? An Achilles heel? Okay. I kind of like that idea also. She mentioned Achilles heel, where Achilles, of course, is a Greek story, but Achilles was invincible on every part of his body except his heel, right? That's why it's called the Achilles heel. But I kind of like that idea, but not exactly where I was going. What you think, Zach? The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Well, this is a transfer of power, essentially, right? So if there's a transfer of power, what does that say about who? First of all, the heel belongs to who? It's Esau's heel. Whose hand is grabbing his heel, right? Jacob, right? So they're the two major factors in this whole equation, right? What does that say about everybody else? What's Go ahead, Captain. Kind of, sort of. What do you think, Zach?
I'm just thinking that recorded like in between, like I'm saying, right? They're in between everybody.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get to. It says the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. The rest of the nations are just kind of caught in the middle. All right. Remember, Jacob and Esau are the two most important characters in the Bible, right? The two important people in history. Everybody else is just kind of caught in the middle. Okay, they're going to be caught in the middle of this transfer of power between them and us. Okay, because remember, they've had their time to rule. Esau has his time to rule. He's the last ruling Gentile nation, right? We're right after him. Everybody else is just going to have to follow what's going on. They're just playing a part in all this. Okay, in fact, we're going to read that real fast. Give me Luke 24. Okay.
21.
Yeah, thank you. Luke 21. Luke 21 and 24. Go on, you got it.
Got it. Reading out the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
Right.
And shall be led away captive into all nations.
Right, and that happened to us in 70 AD when the Roman Empire sacked Jerusalem. They destroyed the temple, took the golden candlestick out of the temple, and ran off with it, and led us away captive into all nations. Okay, they led us captive into all nations. So Israel is in every nation on the planet. All right, go ahead.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
All right, it says Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. What does that mean, trodden down?
Trampled.
They're going to be all over the place. They're going to run apart. They're going to ransack Jerusalem.
Trample.
They're going to tramp. Thank you. That's the word. Trample. Yeah. They're going to stomp their ugly, nasty, dirty feet on Jerusalem. Right? Go ahead.
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Right. So, first of all, he's letting you know right now. That's how you know that this verse right here lets you know that those living in Jerusalem right now are not the true Israelites. Okay. God. Because he said himself, he said, Jerusalem will be trodden. First of all, the inhabitants of the land, those people who stake a claim to the land, are going to be led away captive. So they're going to be exiled out of their own land. And second, Jerusalem will be trampled and trodden down by the Gentiles, meaning the other nations. Okay? And how many nations got embassies and buildings in Jerusalem? They got that mosque over there, right? Where supposedly Muhammad got beamed up into heaven, quote unquote, right? They got a big giant mosque in Jerusalem. That's equivalent to having a heathen temple in our land, right? The actual temple is gone, but they got that mosque over there. Jerusalem is trodden down of the Gentiles, right? And we're living in the time of the Gentiles. And who's the last Gentile? The last Gentile king. Who's the last ruling Gentile nation? Think about it. Who is it? Esau. Esau is the last ruling Gentile nation, right? No, since the Roman Empire, no other nation has conquered the world like Esau has, right? So therefore, we're living in that time. Now, since he's the last one, we're right after it. Everyone else is just caught up in between. Okay, that's what he means when he says the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Okay, so go back to 2nd Ezra and read that last verse one more time. Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Every other nation, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Arab, okay, the so-called African, the Persians, Iran, they're all just playing a part at the moment, okay? But they're going to be caught up in this transfer of power. They're going to watch the fall of Esau and the rise of Jacob, okay? Go ahead.
Second address.
Read verse 8. I'm sorry.
Second address, chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham to Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So Esau grabbed, remember, they were fighting in the womb, they were born, and the fight continued, right? They were still fighting. Jacob grabs Esau's heel, right? Go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right, so Jacob's beginning of it that follow. Esau's going to get pulled down by Jacob, by us, and we're going to be the ruling. We're going to supplant him, because I forgot to mention this. That's what Jacob means, okay? Yaiquab, that's you. And that's what it means, supplanter, or he who supplants. Okay, you can write that down. Jacob means supplanter, someone who takes the place of another, or who overcomes another in status. Okay, that's what supplant means. Someone who overtakes someone else in status. All right. Read verse 10.
The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, address, ask thou not.
So don't ask no more questions after that. All right. So from there, get me the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel. I believe it's chapter. Not 3. No, not 3. Where is it where he says, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom?
Oh.
7, yes.
7:18.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go there. Well, hold on. Start at verse...
7:18. Daniel 7:18.
Yeah.
Yeah, read that.
Reading out the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Notice it says we have to take the kingdom, right? Not that it's going to be given to us. Not that it's going to be gifted or is going to be negotiated for, right? It says we have to take it, right? We have to take the kingdom. We have to destroy what Esau has done and establish a new kingdom. All right. There's a reason why he's grabbing his heel so he can pull him down. All right. If you're grabbing someone's heel, that means you're below them. Right. If you grab their heel to pull them down or climb up over them, that means you're taking it from them. You're supplanting them. Right. You're climbing over them. You're taking their place. All right. It didn't say Esau gave us the kingdom. It doesn't say that because Esau is not going to take it lying down. Right? He's not going to just hand it over. He's never handed anything over.
Right.
It's always been ripped from his cold hands, right? Or he's ripped it from somebody else, right? Read that again real fast. Hold on, Mike.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Right.
And possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
And that's how you know he's talking about Jacob and Esau, because what did we just read in 2nd Ezra? He said Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? You want to say something, Uncle Mike?
You're like grabbing the heel is like taking the foundation
exactly
away from you.
From his foot, right? What he stands on, exactly. He's standing on his feet, right? So if you take it from his heel, from where he stands, you can topple him, right? It's like doing a Russian leg sweep. You kick him from below, right? And then you climb over them. Go ahead, Katarza.
No, Salaki, you don't got to go through it, but there's a section in Genesis. I know it's after Esau sold his birthright, and it may have been after the father Isaac was deceased, passed away, where Esau and Jacob greeted each other. And say, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that might be the only time where when there was a fight between. Right,
that's probably the only time that they weren't at odds with each other.
Yeah,
and you know the only reason why there wasn't a fight, because Jacob knew that if I approach him head on, he might kill me. Right. So what did he do? He sent his wives, sent his children, sent his servants before he showed up. So that way Esau knew, okay, he's actually like not like, it was strategic. If I approach him this way, he won't kill me. If he sees my wife, my children, and my servants, and then he sees me, they could probably like calm him down. Like they probably disarm him, so to speak. So, but yeah. Right? Now stay in Daniel, go to chapter 2, start at verse 44.
Reading out the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 44.
Right. So this is after Daniel explains the dream to Nebuchadnezzar, and he saw that the statue with the head of gold and this, that, and the third, and how the statue was eventually destroyed. Right. The image was destroyed by a meteorite. Right. This is what it meant in that day. Right. Go ahead.
And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed.
It shall never be destroyed. It's the same thing. He said the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. And in order for that to happen, all these other kingdoms got to go. Esau's kingdom got to go. Okay, Esau's kingdom will be supplanted, all right, by another righteous, a more righteous kingdom. Okay, go ahead.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. The other nations are not going to have rulership in this kingdom. Okay, that's why he said the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. They're just going to be caught in the middle. Okay, this power struggle and this transfer of power, they're just going to be caught in the middle, and someone else is going to take the kingdom. This other people is us, the Israelites, right? Go ahead.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
See, it's to break in pieces and consume all these other kingdoms will be destroyed. Esau's kingdom will be destroyed. Like Ben said earlier, not just America, but Great Britain, Italy, France, Ireland. Who else? Give me some other names. Germany, Russia, they will all be destroyed. India, Iran, Persia, Japan, China, all right, Saudi Arabia, okay, even those African kingdoms that we love so much, right? They will all be destroyed. Okay, their governments will be toppled, all right, by power greater than our own. And this is what we read about when we read Jacob and Esau being born. It seems like a minor thing, but it's really, there's a reason the Bible mentions it, that he grabs his heel, okay? Read on.
But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms.
All these kingdoms. Go ahead.
And it shall stand forever.
Go ahead.
Verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands.
Right. It means that man didn't make this. Okay. Man did not make that stone cut without hands. All right. It came from the heavens. All right. It came from the Most High himself. Right. Go ahead.
And that it break in pieces the iron.
Right.
The brass.
Right.
The clay. The silver. And the gold.
From bottom to top, it struck at the foundation of the statue, right? Which represented those kingdoms that we read about all the time. Go ahead.
The great power had made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter.
It said what shall come to pass, meaning this is future prophecy. All right. History written in advance. Okay. That's what prophecy is. History written in advance. He's letting you know, God is telling you this is what's going to happen throughout the course of time. Go ahead.
And the dream is certain.
And the dream is certain, meaning it's going to come to pass. Right? Go ahead.
And the interpretation thereof, sure.
There you go. All right. So let's go back to Genesis. So I wanted to show y'all the significance of Jacob grabbing Esau's heel. Okay. Now we're going to go back into about his skin color, right? So I want you to read 25 and 25 again.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
Right.
And they called his name Esau.
Right, his name is called Esau. Now, why did his skin color come out red? Why? Anybody? I want you to see who's thinking. I want y'all to see who's thinking. Who else lost their skin color? Think way back. Way back. No, I said way back, not way forward. Yeah, back in the beginning. There you go. There you go. Cain also lost his skin color. In short, brothers and sisters, Esau is Cain. Okay? Esau is Cain brought back into the earth. All right? What did Cain do? What did he do? He's murdered his brother, right? Now, the curse that was upon upon Cain, right, was what? He put a mark. The Most High put a mark on him, right? That way anyone saw him, they would know not to touch him. And he was a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. Did Cain ever pay for his crimes? Did Cain ever pay for his crimes? Was he ever brought to justice?
No.
No, right? So clearly, Cain died a peaceful death, so to speak, right? But now, how does the Most High judge him? He judges him through Esau, exactly. And that's why Esau was born without a skin color, so to speak.
His future generation.
That's his future generation. He came back in that same seed line. Because remember I said before in Genesis chapter, I believe it's 10, we only deal with the sons of Adam, right? From that point forward, we dealt with the sons of Adam all the way through Noah, son of Adam. We were all the way up to here now. These are the sons of Adam. Okay, the sons of Adam, the sons of Noah, the sons of Shem. Okay, that's who they are. So Cain is part of that seed line, believe it or not. Right. Esau is part of that seed line, right? So y'all see, Esau is Cain regenerated or reincarnated, right? It's the same spirit. It's the same spirit. We're going to read about that because he has that same murderous spirit towards who? Towards Jacob, his brother, right? That was the first. Like I said, that sin is still there. It's still in that family line, right? So we're going to read how they grew up. We're going to see the mannerisms of Jacob and Esau, and we're going to see how that hatred for him is still there. That hatred that Cain had for Abel, it's still present in Esau towards Jacob, all right?
That was the first murder recorded
in history. The first murder recorded in history. Okay. A brother. A black man murdered his own brother, another black man, right? All right. So, jump down to 27.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 27. Mm-hmm. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Go ahead.
A man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
So look. If that doesn't encapsulate the personality of Esau and Jacob, I don't know what does. Because if you look at Esau, right, it says he was what? A cunning hunter, a man of the field. And if that's not Esau, I don't know what it is. If that's not the so-called white man, I don't know who else it could be. Because no other people on the planet like to go hunting, like to go rock climbing, like to go bungee jumping, swimming, playing with animals,
right?
Mountain climbing, extreme sports, right? You look at Esau, this is what he does. This is who he is. He's a man, he likes to go out and get his, right? He sees something, he wants it. He'll take it and he'll do whatever he has to do to get it. Is that not Esau to a T? Is that not the so-called white man to a T?
What?
Can you think of anybody else who's like this? I remember I watched a video of Mahershala Ali, right? And he was talking about the differences between white men and black men, right? And he says that white men, they go out into the world on the offensive side, right? They'll go out and look in a space and go, oh, what can I build over here? Or what can I put over there? I can put my name on this thing. I put my name on that thing, right? I can make this mine, right? But us, we're on the other side. We're on the defense. We stay in defense mode, right? We're always wondering who. You know what I'm saying? We always got our heads on the swivel. We're always in defense. When somebody come up to us like, yo, what do you want? Why are you bothering me? Leave me alone. Every time we come into the police, right? We clench up. We go, okay, right? Is that not us? Is that not how we are? Am I talking to myself?
No, you're right.
Right? That's how we are. We are always in defense mode. Okay? Your boss comes to you, you hear that your boss want to talk to you in your job, you're thinking, crap, what happened now? Am I in trouble? Right? Or if your woman says to you, we need to talk. Right? We gotta talk. You think you in trouble now, right? That's how we are. That's how Jacob and Esau are. Go ahead.
No, capitalism is always well associated with Esau. Too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out there and get it.
Right.
And if I can't get it, I'm gonna find some way to get it anyhow. If I have to undercut somebody,
Right.
if I have to manipulate somebody, if I gotta kill somebody, right? Or if I have to, and I'm taking it all for myself and I'm not gonna share. That's who Esau is. He's a cunning hunter, right? But Jacob, on the other hand, it said he's a plain man. He like to dwell in tents. Is that not us? I like to chill. I just want to kick back, relax, eat my food. I just want to drink. Listen, if you get a group, hold on, Ben. If you get a group of brothers, right, in the park, and put something on the grill, and bring out some food and some liquor, some music, and some women, we having a good time, right? Is that not how we are? Oh, that's all we need. We are simple people.
Right.
We are simple people. It does not take much to please us, right? Go on, Ben.
Yeah, and when you read in the Josephus in Genesis about Cain in the beginning, that's the same way he built his city after he was kicked out from Adam and Eve, and he went in the land of Nod.
Right.
He created the same setup based on capitalism, taking over, raping, deceit, dealing unjustly, and creating gains more than to create something that's going to benefit all of mankind.
Right.
It's about for himself and greed only, just to make money.
And his descendants also started. They were the ones who started making weapons in the earth. Okay, when you read about Tubal-Cain, right? They was the ones out here making weapons, out here making instruments of war, because they knew that that's how we were going to take it, how he was going to build his society. He said, listen, I got kicked out of paradise. I'll make my own paradise. Right. Instead of taking what the Most High gave me, right? I will make my own. And that's how Esau is. If no one's going to give it to me, I'm going to do it myself. Right? Go ahead, Captain. Right, all the time. Listen, if you get 3 or 4 black men, remember we used to stand around a burning garbage can and sing the blues. You know what I'm saying? And we have a good time doing it. We're simple minded. It does not take much to please us, right? I remember one time. I think my mother gifted me a pack of socks, and I was excited. Because I kept losing my socks. I don't know where all my socks were going. So she just said, here, I bought you some socks. I'm like, yo, I was happy for a week. You know what I mean? It don't take much to make Jake happy. It doesn't. Now, let me ask y'all a question. We see that Esau is a go-getter, right? We see that Jacob is, just laid back. He don't really need much. Why would the Most High choose Jacob over Esau then? I kind of mentioned it already, but think about it. Why wouldn't the Most High choose someone who's going to go out there and conquer, go out there and get it, make things happen?
I'm saying, like, remember now with Esau, he might have been a go-getter, but he did it unjustly.
Right. Okay. Remember who Esau is. Remember who Esau is, right?
Right.
Who is Esau? But who is he? Again, there you go. He got that spirit of Cain in him. So even though he might be, industrial and adventurous, or I should say industrious, right? He's industrious and he's adventurous. He still got that wickedness in him. The wickedness that Jacob doesn't have, right? Jacob is pure. He's laid back. He don't want to bother nobody.
Right.
He practically want to be left alone. He liked to chill. He liked to stay close to his parents. He was probably the good son. You ever seen the what's that movie with Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin? The Good Son, right? Macaulay Culkin was the wicked son. Now, mind you, now Elijah Wood wasn't. He was her nephew, right? If I'm not mistaken. But she killed her son over this pure son that she had, so to speak, right? Go ahead, Katarza.
No. At what point and why did Jacob become so materialistic?
Well, yeah, curses, because we lost sight of what's real, what's more valuable. Remember, the scripture says that the Most High's word is more valuable than fine gold and precious stones, right? So eventually, when we lost this, we just started to look for validation in things that don't mean anything. You know what I mean? That's why materialism and all the wrong things that we shouldn't hold value, because we lost this, right? We lost true sight of this, right? So read 27 again for me.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter,
Right.
a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Right. He's a plain man dwelling in tents. He didn't like to bother nobody. He didn't like to go outside. He was a homebody, as they would say, right? He's a homebody, right? Go ahead.
And Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison.
Right. So Isaac loved Esau because Esau kept him well fed, right? Go ahead.
But Rebekah loved Jacob.
Now stop right there. Time out, right? Why does Rebekah love Jacob more?
Maybe it's not hard to please him or make him happy somewhat.
Think scripturally.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Think about it. It says Isaac loves of Esau because he kept him well fed. It said he ate of his venison, right? So Esau was always out hunting, catching deer, killing deer, bringing it back and feeding his father. His father never went hungry. The whole family probably never went hungry, right? So, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Why? That also, okay. Now we're going into the nature of Jacob and Esau, right? Who they are as people. But there's a spiritual reason. And this is where women, I remember Rakal always said that women were more spiritual than men, right? And I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Women see things that we just don't, right? But what did Rebekah see that helped, or that caused her love to bestow upon Jacob?
I'm saying right, but she saw in him that he was going to eventually be somebody.
What did she say? What? Come on, you're almost there. You're right there.
Okay, keep talking.
No. Tell me what you think. That
she saw in him that he would rise up, like rule.
There we go. She remembered the prophecy. That's what it was. She remembered that the angel told her that the elder will serve the younger. So she knew that her younger child was destined for greatness. She didn't know how. She don't remember. She doesn't know exactly how it might materialize, but she knows that according to prophecy, my younger son is actually going to be the ruler of the planet Earth. So of course her love is going to be bestowed upon him. Now, naturally, she's looking at Esau and goes, you're my firstborn son, of course, but something wrong with you.
Right.
You ain't right. So this boy is not normal. He likes to go out and she's looking at her two boys and sees the stark difference between them. Remember, she was told the prophecy, two manner of people are within your womb. Something wrong with this boy. This boy all right, but this one here and your firstborn son, something wrong with him. Something is wrong with him. Now this is just my own thinking, right? But I wonder if when he was born, did they remember the stories of old about Cain and Abel? And did she probably think, oh snap, this is Cain. Holy crap, I just gave birth to Cain all over again. And now I gotta raise him. And now his brother, and then remember, oh crap, Cain killed his brother. I gotta protect this one. This boy might kill him. Stay tuned. We're gonna read on. about it, right? What you got?
That's what I said right quick. Tim just said, every time I'm speaking, waiting on the bus stop, there's a new restaurant downtown called Raising Cane.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In the Bible, what you told me right now, CAIN. And Rebecca and I said, would be raising. They were raising
Cain. They gave birth to Cain all over again. And probably never crossed their mind, but they said, but knowing the prophecy and the history, they probably said, "Oh snap, we got a situation on our hands. Our boys are not normal boys." Right? Go ahead, read on.
Up to verse 28.
29. We read
29.
Yep.
And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
Now, right here, right? It says Esau came from the field and was faint. Now, I'm not exactly sure how true this is, but what I've read is that at this point right here, the reason why he came back all faint was because he actually killed Nimrod. I read somewhere that Esau actually killed Nimrod and went to war with his people and almost died. Okay? So when he came back, he was all defeated. He was ready to collapse, ready to die. Right? Yeah, that's what I've read. I don't know how true that is. Remember, men lived hundreds of years back in those days. A long time. To see Jacob and Esau, yeah.
I think that's in the book of Yashar.
The book of Jasher?
Jasher, sorry, yeah.
I remember reading it somewhere that the reason why, because I wondered how did Nimrod die?
I remember in
the two Babylons, that Shem killed Nimrod? See, well, there you go. There you go. Either way, it was a Shemite that killed Nimrod. You know what I mean? He died by Shem's hand. Okay? Right. So he came back, he was faint, right? Go ahead.
Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage."
With that same red pottage, right?
For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Well, his name was called Edom. He said, feed him with that same red pottage, that undercooked stew, right? And therefore his name was called Edom. Edom means, come on, y'all don't know what Edom means? Edom means red. Red. Adwam, red. Okay? Go ahead.
And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright."
Now there you go, Jacob, right? The opportunist. Because he saw that Esau was about to die. So what will happen to the birthright? It'll die with him, right? If he's going to die, his birthright is going to die with him if it's not given to him, right? Go ahead.
And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?"
You see, that's what Esau was thinking. He was like, I'm about to die. My birthright will be it'll die with me, right? Because remember, Isaac is supposed to die and bestow his birthright upon Esau, because Esau is the firstborn, right? But because Esau is about to die, what profit does it mean? But it doesn't mean anything to me at this point. Not thinking him wickedly. He's thinking wickedly at this point. Go ahead.
Verse 33. And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him.
Right.
And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Now this is where Christianity got it all twisted and all wrong. Because according to them, right, according to Christianity and Catholicism, Jacob stole his birthright from him, or he took it from him. But what does the scripture say? It said, and he sold his birthright to him. He sold it. He negotiated over it. He said, "Yeah, you can have it. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'm about to die. What profit does it give me? It'll die with me. So yes, you can have it. In exchange for one morsel of meat, you can have my birthright." It's an unequal trade. It's a literal unequal trade. You're talking about status as the firstborn of a mighty man over a piece of meat. Just shows you what kind of disdain he has for his own birthright, his own heritage, and above all else, his own disdain for the Most High's word. Right? Because that thing is established by the Most High. The birthright is established by the Heavenly Father. It's not established by anybody else. Okay? And because so he sold it for one little piece of meat. He was like, nah, I don't need it. You can have it. Get Uncle Mike.
Yeah, so, and bring it up now to modern day, that's what Esau got our people doing now these days.
Selling their birthright?
Selling this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, actually, yes. Now that you think about it, Esau got us in derision, willing to sell our souls for nothing. For nothing. In fact, hold that. Hold Genesis, get Mark 8:36.
It does say that in the curses do divine in want of all things.
Mm-hmm. Give me that Mark 8:36.
Reading out the book.
Louder.
Reading out the book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 36.
Mm-hmm.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Right. What profit do you gain if you gain all these worldly material possessions, but you lose your soul? Your very essence, the very basic being of you. What can the world give you in exchange for that? Nothing, right? Nothing. There's nothing that you can give, that you can gain that's worth trading your soul. Okay? Nothing. Okay? So when Esau sold his birthright, he essentially sold his inheritance. He sold his soul for a piece of meat. Just so he wouldn't starve. You know plenty of people today, of our people, who would give anything just to not starve. Right? Go ahead, Mike Oliver.
I want Mike now. We can't wait.
Right. And you know, it's funny, speaking of, artists, a lot of them sell the rights to their music away. Right? They sell the rights to their music to the record company, and the record company owns them. And the word is in perpetuity, meaning repeatedly. You make music, we own the rights to it, and we make how much ever money we want off of it, off of your back. And yeah, we'll give you, some chump change, we'll throw a bunch of women your way, we'll give you a couple $1 million. You can have all these nice cars and this and third, but we own the essence of your work. We own your soul. You put your heart and soul into your music, and guess what? We own it. Right? We own it, not you. Damn, what's going on up there? All right. Oh, okay. Con. All right, let's go back to Genesis.
Reading
34.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. Mm-hmm. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Mm-hmm. Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils.
Right.
And he did eat and drink. And rose up and went his way.
Right.
Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Esau despised his birthright. He had no respect for it. He rejected the Most High. That's what that is. Go ahead, Cap. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hit the self-destruct button, right? Because it's like, you ever seen those movies where they got some secret facility? Esau got these secret facilities, and if someone finds it out, they hit the self-destruct button, destroy everything and everything along with it, so that way to get rid of the evidence. That's what that is. We're gonna blow up everything. If we can't have it, nobody can have it. That's the mindset that Esau got. All right. All right, now jump ahead to chapter 27, verse 1. Chapter 27, Genesis.
Yeah. Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 1. Mm-hmm. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes was dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son.
Oh, real quick. If you read in chapter 26, verse 34 and 35, Esau married an African woman, and his parents hated it. Just to show you he has no respect for his heritage. He went and married a Hamite woman, and Esau and Isaac, Rebecca, they didn't like it at all. They despised the fact that he did that. All right, just to show you, he has no regard. He's disrespectful. Okay. Huh? He married a Hittite, and his parents begged him not to do it. Right? Go ahead now. Yeah, read on.
So he could not see. He called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I.
Right. So Isaac went blind, and he called Esau to help him out. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 2. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death.
Right. I'm old, and I don't know when I'm going to die now. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die.
Right, so Isaac essentially is trying to have a last supper with Esau before he dies, so that way he can give him his birthright. Now remember what happened already. He sold it. He sold his birthright. It don't mean anything to him. It never meant anything to him, so he sold it off. And now he's trying to, now I don't think his parents knew that, but now he's trying to kind of weasel his way back in, trying to repent of it, so to speak. Go ahead.
And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it.
Go ahead.
And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Most High, before my death.
So Rebekah caught wind of the conversation, and now she starts to make moves. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I could command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goat, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death.
Now stop. She said, thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Right? She said he'll bless you. Right? How is that possible? How is this possible? Thank you. There we go. Because she knew the prophecy. The elder shall serve the younger. Right? Remember, that's what it's all about. The elder shall serve younger. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man.
Right, so Esau is hairy and I'm like smooth. I got baby soft skin. He's gonna know the difference. Mom. I don't know how we're gonna work this out. But go ahead.
My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver.
Right. My father's gonna know that this is a trick. He'll know that I'm lying to him. Right? Go ahead.
And I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing.
Right. So he knows that if you lie to your parents, you disregard your parents, then you bring a curse upon yourself. Right? Jacob knows this, but Esau, knowing that he sold his birthright, trying to get his birthright from his father is a deceptive move. A lot of people don't even realize that. Esau already sold his birthright at this point, and he never got it back from him. He never got it back from Jacob. So him trying to get a blessing from Isaac, that inheritance, is a deceptive move in and of itself. Right? Think about that for a second. All right, go ahead.
Verse 13. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them.
Right, so now Rebekah's like, no, the curse be upon me. If there is a curse, right, let it be upon me. Okay, she's trying to take the place of the curse because she knows the prophecy. Remember, she knew what was going to happen between her sons, right? Go ahead.
And he went and fetched and brought to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved.
Now, how long was how long was Esau gone that she was able to make an entire meal in the time that he was gone? Go ahead.
Verse 15, and Rebekah took goodly women of her eldest son Esau.
Right, so she took Esau's best clothes, not his hunting gear, but, his goodly robes and whatnot. Go ahead.
Which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her youngest son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck.
Right, so she covered him in fur, so that way he would appear hairy, right? Go ahead.
And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hands of her son Jacob.
Go ahead.
And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son?
Now, I don't know if y'all know fraternal twins, but they certainly don't sound the same. Okay, they don't have the same voice. Hell, I know identical twins who don't have the same voice. So how Isaac is not aware that this definitely is not Esau is beyond me. Okay, but that's why, check this out. This is why the Most High blinded him, so that way he wouldn't know who's coming, right? Because all of it is according to prophecy and according to the Most High's will. Because if Isaac was able to see, he would clearly know that this was not Esau that's standing before me. But because he can't see, but he can hear and he can smell and he can touch him, he fell for it, so to speak. Okay? Go on.
And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Right.
Verse 20, and Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son?
See, he said, how did you find it so quickly? Hunting takes time. This is a long process. It ain't just go outside, see a deer and shoot it. No, this is a process. You got to lie in wait, you got to set a trap for it.
Right.
You got to shoot it, then you got to skin it, then you got to cook it, right? But he said, how is it that you found it so quickly? Right? Go ahead.
And he said, because the Most High thy power brought it to me.
Right. So he tried to bring the Most High into this, right? Go ahead.
And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not.
See, go ahead.
And Jacob went near to Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
See? So he knew that Jacob did not have the same voice as Esau. They sounded different. Remember, they're fraternal twins. They don't have the same vocal cords, right? So he knows, Dag, you sound like Jacob, but you feel like Esau. Your hands are hairy and, you know what I mean? Like, there's something weird going on here. Go ahead.
And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy. As his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him.
Right.
And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am.
You said, are you sure you Esau? Yes. That is me. You don't know your own son by now? It's me, Dad. What's up? I don't think Isaac had no clue what was going on. Because he knows that Esau was out in the field hunting for venison, and that this is a long process. That's why he asked him, how'd you get back so quickly? He didn't think Rebecca had anything to do with this, right? He didn't think Rebecca was up to anything. He thinks that, okay, so he knows something's up, but he's not thinking that, okay, my wife is conspiring against me. You know what I mean? He had no reason to think that. Right, he knows something's wrong here. But go ahead, Uncle Mike.
So the Mosai have his hand in this.
Absolutely.
The Mosai could have shown him, this is not.
That's not Esau. That's why I said the Most High blinded him. Yeah. Right. He put that spirit on him first. But like I said, he blinded him first. Because if he saw him, he would know, okay, why are you dressing like Esau? What are you doing? What are you trying to do here? Right? But because he couldn't see him, that sight, that it threw off everything. It threw Isaac for a loop completely.
But still, remember in Egypt, Jacob was the same way too, but he crossed his hand.
Right. Because the Most High had his hand in it, yes.
Crossed his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So here now with Isaac, the Most High had to be in this here because he could say, well, all right, that's not your son.
Right. That ain't him. That ain't Esau. I know this. I know my son. Right? And parents, you would think, I know my son. My son is this. My son is that. You know what I mean? My son sounds like this. My son has a certain aura. My son has a certain gait or a certain walk. You know what I'm saying? Elder Rakal, right? You have daughters, right? So you know your daughters in and out. You know which one's which. You know how one behaves, their mannerisms. You know how they talk, what type of habits they have. So if one of them tried to come to you pretending to be the other, you're going to know, girl, why are you playing with me? You know what I mean? Did your mother put you up to this? Why, you know? So all in all, Isaac had no reason to think that. And that, like Mike Allah said, that's how you know the Most High had his hand in this. Because if Isaac wasn't blind, this wouldn't even be an issue. This wouldn't be an issue. All right, read on, brother.
And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 26, and his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his remnant, and blessed him.
Right.
And he said, see, the smell of my son is at the smell of a field which the Most High had blessed.
Right. So he said, remember, he touched him, he heard his voice, and he smelled him. Only thing is he couldn't see him. So he had no reason to believe that this wasn't Esau. Right? You smell like Esau, you sound like Jacob, but you feel like Esau also. And you smell like him. That's weird. All right? Go ahead.
Can I say this too?
Go ahead.
Esau, he smelled like the old saying, so he smelled like a ram goat. He smelled
Yeah. He smells stink. Yeah, like
just like a wet dog. That's what they are.
So like a wet dog, or you ever smell like cattle? You know what I'm saying? You ever been to like okay, when y'all went to go get pick out the lambs, right? That smell, that animal smell came upon. That's what Esau smelled like. He stink. He don't wash himself. He's always out in the field. He's always amongst the animals. He smelled like sweat and dirt and animal, right? And Jacob smelled like lotion and aloes and butters and all this. We know how to wash ourselves. We practice good hygiene. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 28. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth.
So now he's starting to bless who he thinks is Esau. Right? Go ahead.
And plenty of corn and wine.
Corn and wine. We read about that earlier. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee.
Go ahead.
Be Lord over thy brethren.
Over thy brethren, right?
And let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
Right. Now he's thinking he's talking to Esau about Jacob. Let thy brother's children bow down to thee. Thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Right? Go ahead.
And cursed be everyone that curseth thee. And blessed be he that blesseth thee.
Now this is the same thing that the Most High said to Abraham. Blessing those that bless thee and curse those that curse thee. Right? Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac has made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
Now Esau's coming back. This is where the rift in their family comes in. All right, this is where it starts. All right, go ahead.
Verse 31, and he also had made savory meat,
Right. He also made food for his father. Go ahead.
and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Right. Go ahead.
And Isaac his father said unto him,
He thinking it's all sweet, right? He thinking that this is going to be a good meal. I'm about to get a nice blessing from Pops, and I'm going to be good, and all's going to be well and dandy. Wrong. Keep going. Go ahead.
Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau.
Go ahead.
And Isaac trembled very exceedingly.
Right. So Isaac was like, oh, crap. I done messed up. We done goofed. Right? Go ahead.
And said, where is he that have taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, yea, and he shall be blessed.
Right. So he said, okay, well, if you're Esau, then who did I bless earlier? Right? Now, check this out, right? Actually, no, read on. I'm sorry.
And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father.
So now Esau get the boo-hooing, right? He reneged, right? He reneged on the deal that he made with Jacob. Now he's starting to boo-hoo. He's starting to cry, right? He's trying to go back and repent of what he did, right? But go ahead.
And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety,
meaning secretly. Go ahead.
and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob?
So now he starts to slandering Jacob, right? He's starting to slander his brother now. That's how it starts. Remember, that's how these things start. It starts with the slander, right? And you look at how Esau slanders us daily. Remember, we read earlier how Satan stands before the Most High, slandering us day and night, right? Continuously, at all times, right? Go ahead.
For he has supplanted me these 2 times.
See, that's what, remember I said earlier, Jacob means supplanter, right? He said, has he not supplanted me these 2 times, right? Go ahead.
And he took away my birthright, and behold.
Now see right there, Esau's a liar, right? As you can see right there, Esau is a damn liar because he didn't take it from him. What happened to it? He sold it to him. He traded it for meat. So now he's lying to the Most High and his father. He said, no, he said he took it from me. He took my birthright. No, stupid, you sold it. Okay, you sold it. You had no regard for it. You didn't want it. And you said, you're out of your own mouth, what profit is it to me? I'm about to die. What good is it going to be to me? So therefore you sold it. Now he's lying, right? Go ahead.
And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved the blessing for me?
Now, so now you reserve a blessing for me. You don't got nothing left for me either, Dad? Right? Go ahead.
Verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord.
Right.
And all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him.
Right.
And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Right. Now, so now notice he said, I can't take back what I gave him because it's recorded in the heavens. Right? Where's that scripture been where he said, or whatever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what scripture? Yeah, whatever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. What scripture is that? Matthew 18. 18 and 18. Yeah, read that real fast, Qatazar.
Reading out the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 18. Verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven.
Right, so whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, meaning whatever you establish here on the earth, like this blessing that Isaac gave to Jacob, thinking it was Esau. It's recorded in the heavens. He can't take that back. He made a deal with the Most High. You can't take that back. You can't repent of that. Okay, read that again.
Verily I say to you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven.
Right, and the Most High recognizes it. Okay, he sees it. He recognizes it. You bound this earth. You bound this on earth in the presence of the Most High, kind of like a marriage covenant. You bound that on earth. It's bound in the heavens. It's written in the heavenly scrolls. Okay, that's what happened. This is what they did. Go on.
And whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loose in heaven.
Same thing. Whatever y'all disannul on the earth is outside of the Most High's word, right? It shall be loosed in heaven also. They'll disannul it too. Okay, but he can't take this back. And Isaac's not a man that he should go back on his word. He said, "Look, I already gave him your blessing. What else can I do for you? There's nothing else I can do for you, right?" All right. So go back to go ahead. Go back to Genesis.
We was up in verse 37.
37, yeah, read 37.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servant, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Right, he said, what can I do for you? I there's nothing I can do for you, son. I gave him the blessing. It's recorded in the heavens. The Most High sealed it. There's nothing I can do, right? Go ahead.
Verse 38, and Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father.
Right.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Right, so he's starting to cry and cry and cry and start to boo-hooing. He got the boo-hooing, all right? Go ahead.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Right, so now we're getting into Esau's blessing. And once we will see this, you'll see this is the so-called white man. It can't be anybody else. All right, it fits him to a T. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
Oh, say the dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above, meaning you're going to live in all the best places with the most resources, and they were going to overspread the earth also. Okay, they were going to expand their territories in the earth, right? Go ahead.
And by thy sword shall I live,
There
and
we
shall.
go. Go ahead.
Right.
No, read 40 again. I'm sorry.
And by thy sword shall I live,
There
and
you
shall
go.
serve thy brother.
Right. Well, he said, by thy sword shalt thou live. Esau was blessed with what? He was blessed with the sword. He was blessed with the art of war, right?
Right.
The most destructive man that has ever lived, the most destructive people that have ever lived. They're the only people. Who came up with the atomic bomb?
Also,
Who came up with that, right? Who came up with an idea that if you split an atom, you can destroy nations, right? Blow them, just literally blow them off the map. No other group of people will even think to do something like that.
Right. And they also want to bring about space explorations.
All of that.
Going into the heavens.
All of that.
Yeah.
They're the only people who think about doing these things.
NASA, yeah.
Well, there ain't nobody else on the planet trying to do that. All right. Of course, other countries have established strong militaries and have conquered nations, but Esau, what? Come on now. They do it the best, and they do it in the most vicious and evil way. This is how you know this is the so-called white man. Go ahead, Cap. Right. Exactly. They know. They know. This is his blessing. Okay? And remember who Esau is. Who's Esau again? He's Cain. This is what Cain was doing. He was out here destroying nations and conquering and living by the sword. Right? Go ahead.
And by the sword shall I live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Who knows when this happened? When did they break our yoke off their necks? Who knows when Esau released himself from our chain, so to speak? Any idea? Yeah, Cap. There you go. The Renaissance. They came out the caves and they came up from their media blackout, and they started to turn around there in Europe and started establishing all those white images of Christ and the angels and establishing their own governments and churches. That's when they broke the dominion off their neck, and they've been in power ever since. They have been in power ever since. Okay? Because during the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, we ruled Europe, right? And they were the ones running around destitute and poor. But they said, nah, no more. And they said they rose up and broke our chain off their neck, right? Go ahead.
First Maccabees 3:48.
There you go.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Right, the likeness of their images. Now the Greeks were doing that, but eventually we were able to overtake them, right? We were able to kick them out the land. But then in the Middle Ages, during the Renaissance era, Esau started to do it again. And we couldn't stop them this time. And we haven't been able to stop them since. Okay, only the Most High and Yahweh are going to be able to stop them this time. We can't do it. All right, they're way too strong. They're way too powerful, way too mighty in the earth for us to do that. We're trying little by little, right, with our teachings and with our services. But for them to completely be wiped off the map, the Most High and Yahweh have to do it. All right, he still got that sword. He's living by it. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob.
There it is. Go ahead.
Because of the blessing where his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart.
Esau said in his heart, right?
The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob.
Then I will slay my brother Jacob. He said he hated Jacob. Hated him. That intent. You shared a womb with him. You grew up with him. And you sold him your birthright. And because he supplanted you, now you have intense hatred for him. And now you seek to kill him. Right? Now check this out. Read on.
Verse 42. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, do comfort himself, proposing to kill thee.
Right. So now Rebecca comes to Jacob and said, look, Esau is going to try and kill you. Eve couldn't do that. You ever notice that? Eve didn't get a chance to warn Abel that Cain was about to kill him. But Rebecca, again, remembering the prophecies and being just a good mother, right, said to her son, you need to get out of here because your brother is actually going to try and kill you. Now, can you imagine, imagine a mother hearing that. One of her sons wants to kill her other son, right? How that must be damaging to her, thinking, damn, my sons are going to kill each other? And then second, a brother hearing that my big brother is trying to kill me. That's got to put intense fear into the hearts of anybody, thinking, wow, my brother is really wants to kill me. Something's wrong here. I need to get out of here. And sends him on the run. Right? Go ahead.
Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my brother to Haran. It's 44. And tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turn away.
Right, go ahead.
Until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day?
She said, you're right. She said, look, go stay with my brother until your brother's wrath is quelled, until he calms down, and then I will send fetch for you. I'll send my messengers to come back. Because why should I lose the both of you? Why am I gonna lose the both of you in one day? You guys are probably gonna kill each other. He's gonna try and kill you, and you're probably gonna try and kill him in defense of yourself. Why should I lose the both of you? Right? But I want you to see how that hatred stemmed and was sown in Esau because it was sown in Cain, and it still brings up to this day. They hate our guts because of what was something that we didn't even do. We didn't have any control over this situation, right? Now, I'm going to show you that. Give me Romans. Yes, Romans 9. Guitars, I'll get that, please. Right? Start at verse 9. Romans 9 and 9.
Romans chapter 9, verse 9. Well, this is the word.
Louder.
Well, this is the word of the promise.
Right.
At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son.
Right, go ahead. This is the prophecy that was made to Sarah. Go ahead.
But when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by her father Isaac.
By our father Isaac. Right, go ahead.
But the children being not yet born.
Right, the children weren't born yet. They were in her womb. Right? They were in her womb. So they didn't make any decisions yet. Go ahead.
Either having done any good or evil.
Neither done good or evil. They had not made any choices in their lives. They didn't do anything. Okay? But go ahead.
That the purpose of God according to election might stand,
right.
Not of works, but of him that calleth.
Right, so what does that mean? This was all according to the Most High's will and plan. He wanted it this way. Why was Jacob born second instead of Esau? Because the Most High wanted it that way. Why did he have Esau sell him his birthright? Because he wanted it that way. Why was Isaac blinded and Jacob sent in posing as Esau? Because he wanted it that way. Right? Why is Cain reborn in the earth? Because Cain never paid for his crimes. Esau is going to have to pay for his crimes. Right? Cain is going to have to pay for his crimes through Esau. When Esau is cut out of the earth, that's Cain paying for his crimes, right? Go ahead.
So verse 12 says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Right, the elder shall serve the younger. She knew this prophecy. The prophecy was written before they were even born. The elder shall serve the younger. It's nothing that they did. It was just that's how the Most High wanted it. All right? Go ahead.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Esau have I hated. God hates him. Okay? Why? Because Esau hates him. Esau hates the Most High. He hates him with every fiber of his being. His entire existence. His personality, his mannerisms, his devising of idols. He hates the Most High. He does everything against the Most High. He hates him. All right? Give me Hebrews. Where it says no one's more fornicator than Esau.
Oh.
I believe it's not 13. Where's that at, Ben? Hebrews 12.
Sold his birthright for a morsel of meat.
Yes, 12 and 16.
12 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
Read out the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16.
Yep.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one most of meat sold his birthright.
There's no more profane fornicator than Esau. He is the chief of fornication. He is the chief of profanity. Okay? No one gets worse than him. He is the most vile human being on the planet. Right? Well, one morsel of meat sold his birthright. He sold his soul for one piece of meat. Okay? He sold his inheritance and disrespected the word of the Most High for a piece of meat. Right? Go ahead.
17. For ye know how that afterwards, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
He was rejected. Right? He knows that he would have inherited eternal life. He would have inherited an eternal name. Right? He would have inherited the promises. But he sold it because he is profane and he's a fornicator. Right? Go ahead.
For he found no place of repentance.
And he tried to take it back. Remember, he said, Jacob supplanted me. First, he stole my birthright. Now he stole my blessing. Right? He tried to find a way of repentance. And there was what? Go ahead.
Though he sought it carefully with tears.
Or he sought it carefully with tears. He couldn't find it. There's no repentance for what he did. He sold his birthright. You can't take that back. Remember I said this recorded in the heavens. He cannot undo that. Right? So I want you to think about what Esau did and think about the decisions that we make in our lives, right? We record these things in the heaven. We can't take them back. There's no looking back when you sell your birthright. There's no looking back when you walk away from this truth. You know what I mean? If we want to go back into the world, listen, you better hope the Most High has mercy on us, on you, if you decide to walk away, right? Because sometimes you can't always come back. And Esau found that he can't come back from this. And now he's fitted for destruction, right? Give me that in Obadiah and then we're going to wrap it up. Esau is on his way out. There's no repentance for him. The Lord has no use for him after a certain time. I could go deeper, but I know we're pressed for time.
The book of Obadiah.
Let me get there. Give me a second.
It's after Amos.
Huh. Get me verse. I don't want to read the whole thing. I just want to read the end. Okay, start at verse 17.
Reading out the book of Obadiah.
No, start at verse 10. I'm sorry, verse 10.
Reading out the book of Obadiah, starting at verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Right, Esau will be cut off forever. There will come a time, think about this. There will come a time where no white people will exist. They will not exist anymore after a certain time. And we should be happy because the world will be better off. Right? The world will be better off without them. Okay? The scripture says, because of your violence against your brother Jacob. Remember, Jacob sought to slay him. Esau sought to slay him, to kill him. Right? Now think about it. What if Esau succeeded like Cain did? We wouldn't be here. We would not be here. Yahushua wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have come into the earth when he did. If Esau actually succeeded in killing Jacob. Right? So think about that. There'll come a time where Esau will not exist. Okay? Go ahead, read verse 11.
In that day that thou stoodest on the other side. In that day that strangers carried away captives his forces. And foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou wast as one of them.
Right, so he's talking about the time where the Babylonians came in and destroyed our city and took us captives. They were on the outskirts looking and laughing and cheering while that was going on. And the Lord said, oh, you find that funny, huh? Even though you were one of them, right? You partook in casting lots upon Jerusalem. You try to take part of the land, right? Okay, I got something for you. You're not going to exist anymore, right? Read on.
But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger.
See, go ahead. You shouldn't have been laughing. You should not have been rejoicing. Go ahead.
Neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
They were celebrating. In fact, they were cheering it on. Race it. When you read Psalms 137, right? They were cheering on the Babylonians and destroying our city. Right? Jump down to verse 18.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble.
The house of Esau for stubble, meaning like a little small fire, right? An ember, right? Go ahead.
And they shall kindle them, and devour them,
right?
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Most High has spoken
it. And the Most High has spoken. That's going to be Esau's end. There's not going to be a single Edomite left in the kingdom. Eventually, they will die off. And that's the punishment that they have for coming up against us, for seeking to slay us. Go ahead, Captain. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. And will yet choose Israel. And set them in their own land.
Right.
And the strangers shall be
Uh-huh.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Now remember, now it's funny that you say that, right? Remember what scripture did we read earlier about the role of the other nations? Remember, we read 2 Ezra 6 and 10, right?
Right.
It said the hand of man was between the hand and the heel. Right. That's what's going to be happening. They're going to be caught in the middle, and they're going to cleave unto us because they're going to see the transfer of power, right? They're going to see Esau going down and us rising in rulership, and they're going to try and join up. They're going to be cleaving unto us. Okay? That's what that means. That's the hand of man between the heel and the hand. All right? Is that it, Captain? Go ahead.
Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side of the pit.
Right.
They that, verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
Right.
And consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
See, there you go. Is this the man that dropped the atomic bomb? Right? Is this the man that was developing all those nuclear weapons, shaking the earth? Right? Is this the man that was causing all these other nations to fall before him? Right? Go ahead.
That did shake kingdoms?
That shook kingdoms, right? That shook the foundations of kingdoms and caused power vacuums and caused civil war. Or we spoke about earlier, the geopolitics, causing all these other countries to rise up against each other, right? Go ahead.
Verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness?
See, made the world, literally wiped nations off the planet. Literally. These things aren't, these are not like, this is not hyperbole. These things actually happened, made other countries. You ever seen those pictures of Nagasaki and Hiroshima after they dropped the atomic bomb? They look like desert wasteland. Killed 70,000 people. Made cities look like deserts, right? And then through deforestation, right? They chopped down all the trees and made these foreign lands that were once abundant with life, made them look like death. This is who he is. This is what he does, right? Go ahead, Cap.
And destroyed the cities thereof?
See? Destroyed cities. During World War I and World War II, they were bombing each other to smithereens. Okay? Killing men, women, children, leveling government buildings, tearing down houses, looking like desert wastelands. Go ahead, Cap.
That opened not the house of his prisoners?
See, and kept all his people captive, right? Wouldn't release the prisoners. Wouldn't let people go, right? Even to here in America, we are the most incarcerated nation on the planet, right? Go ahead.
Verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children.
And that's what's going to happen to him. All right? We have to prepare slaughter for these Edomite children, right? Go ahead.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
Because they have to pay for it. Their fathers are not here to pay for what they've done. So guess what? Their children have to suffer, just like we did. Our fathers sinned. Our ancestors were the ones who sinned, but yet we're born here bearing the punishment of their decisions. So the same thing is going to happen to Esau, especially in relation to us, and what they've done to us. Okay? Like I said in Obadiah, it said, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. You sought to kill him. You destroyed your family because of your hatred. Right? You sought to kill your brother for something you did. Esau sold us his birthright, and now he wanted it back, and now because he wants it back and can't get it back, he said, if I just kill him, I'll get it back. Right? Was that it, Captain? Go ahead.
That they do not rise,
nor
possess the land,
right,
nor fill the face of the world with cities.
There you go. There you go. And that's what's coming for Esau. All right? Let's go back to Obadiah. We're going to close it out. Read 18 again.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle on them, and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, but the Lord has spoken it.
Jump down to verse 21.
And Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge, The amount of Esau.
And that's you, brothers and sisters, right? That's those brothers and sisters that are keeping the word of the Most High in truth and sincerity in the faith of Yahushua. We will come up on Mount Zion and judge Esau for what he's done, okay? And that's going to be the get back for what he tried to do to us. He tried to do to our father Jacob after he sold his birthright to him, right? He wanted to destroy his family over something he did, right? And with that, brothers and sisters, I say shalom. All right.
I just want to say pertaining to the whole class, we know that because the Most High designed this for one reason, or because of this.